Of course, we welcome to the program now David Shaw, Provost and Executive Vice President of Mississippi State University. Provost Shaw, thanks for coming on, sir.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
All right, so we got homecoming tomorrow. Is that right?
We do. Lots of activities going on campus and downtown today and tomorrow.
Yes,
so
awesome.
Great vibrancy on the campus.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us about the status of the university. Start with enrollment. How are we doing there?
So we have had yet another good year. We actually had by far the largest freshman class that the university's ever had, over 3,700 students, brand new, and that doesn't count the over 1,700 transfer students that we had. So
wow.
Huge incoming class, and so a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm about the future.
And, you know, that's a similar experience that Ole Miss is having as well. To what do you attribute that?
So much of what we work on is making sure that our students, our prospective students, the parents of those students really understand both the value proposition of the university and the value of the degree that they receive.
Sure.
But also the fact that we really approach this from a serve the whole student standpoint. So that's the social life, that's the opportunities for leadership development, the opportunities for experiential learning, activities like study abroad and things like that. So it's the whole package, and really getting that message out so that they understand that coming to a Mississippi State, even though we're a relatively small town in Starkville, Mississippi, they're going to have a big college experience in a small town setting.
And I think that's what so many students and their parents seek, is that good, positive experience overall.
We, again, just the fact that we've had a record freshman class is a testimony to that. But I think what so many of the parents want to know is my child going to get a good education? Are they going to have a great experience? And are they going to be kept safe?
Exactly. Be safe. And that seems to have kind of escalated up the list of priorities when I think the families are looking at where to attend college. What about just the mix, the balance between in-state and out-of-state?
So we really, especially as the type of university that Mississippi State is, we really strongly focus on in-state students. Not that we exclude out-of-state, but we, again, have about 2/3 of our student body that's in-state. We're by far the university of choice for our in-state students, and we want to keep it that way. We really do see that the way that we can have the biggest impact on the state of Mississippi is to provide a higher education opportunity for the students that are from our state.
Now, you've got a broad spectrum of majors at Mississippi State, of course. Are there any particular schools or majors that are seeing the greatest amount of interest?
So that's a great question, and I'm going to give you a combination answer.
Sure.
You know, so many of the really strong programs that we have are continuing to grow. So we're well known for our engineering programs, and that program just continues to really flourish. Our business college is seeing some growth as well, but what we're probably most excited about is we've been working as a team across the university to say, what are the majors that our students of the future need to be prepared for the 21st century and beyond? Mm-hmm. And so programs like our data science program that is across all 8 of the colleges of the university to be able to offer students, all of us are drowning in data.
No doubt.
You just look at our iPhones and the data that's generated from that, you can get a small imagination of the future from that standpoint. And so, first year of the program, we already have over 70 students in that program. And so it's just really exciting to think about that. Wow. But then you move to the other side, and we have such a strong community college system in the state of Mississippi. And a lot of the students that graduate with a 2-year degree have a technical degree to be able to go out in the workforce. But sometimes after they've been out there for 8-10 years, they really need a bachelor's degree to be able to get that promotion, to be able to be a supervisor. And we've got a new program that's called the Bachelor of Applied Sciences that allows those full 2 years credit toward a 4-year degree without having to do any starting over again. And just in the second year of that program, we have nearly 300 students.
Wow. That's awesome. What about your staff? How you doing there?
So staffing is always a challenge in a environment which, as public employees, they can go make more money elsewhere. So much of what we work on is kind of making sure that we do the best job that we can to compensate them, but also making sure that they really are bought into the impact that we can have. Because working at a university like Mississippi State, you're seeing impact every day if you're paying attention. And so there's, Mississippi State for a number of years has been rated as one of the best colleges to work for. And we work on that every day.
Sure.
There's just a level of enthusiasm on our campus with the staff and faculty that you can feel. Yeah. And that's because we know that we have a mission to have an impact on our state.
Well, coming from the private sector, if you equated it to that, you got to take care of your people, your team, your staff, in order to deliver that positive experience and make good on that value proposition.
That's right.
And that's what you're selling, essentially, to recruit.
Yeah, that's right. And, so much of it, this is not just a job. It really is, in many senses, it can sound cheesy, but it's a calling. Because we're having the opportunity to have an impact on so many students that if it were not for Mississippi State, they're not sure that they would have been able to go to college.
That's awesome.
And so that really instills a very deep sense of mission for our staff.
David Shaw, Provost and Executive Vice President, Mississippi State, is our guest. David, do you track placement data? Do you the statistics there, the metrics there, and what can you tell us about that?
We do, and we're just so very proud. As I said to begin with, about 2/3 of our students are from in-state. But across the spectrum, we do a first destination survey, the first job that somebody gets coming out of college, and well over half of our graduates stay in the state of Mississippi.
That's good.
And that's much stronger than most of the schools that we see in basically all of the SEC schools that we see. And so we're just really proud of that as having an impact on our state in a positive way.
But the sorts of curricula that you teach here, that students pursue here, it's preparing them for the jobs that are available to a great extent.
And that's I gave the example of the data science program, and that's a good example of one that is really future leaning. But at the same time, every one of our programs, we constantly go through an evaluation process to say, what do we need to be teaching for tomorrow rather than what have we always taught? And to me, a great example of that is the meteorology program that we have. It just continues to grow. Over half of the meteorologists that you see out there that are on broadcast meteorology are Mississippi State graduates.
I was actually aware of that, and that's impressive.
And that just continues to grow, and it's because even though there's a lot of competition, we have really fought to be sure that we're relevant to teaching for what they need tomorrow.
That's awesome. Any particular headwinds that you see coming down the pike that the higher ed environment has to be aware of, plan for?
Well, we could spend all day talking about that.
That's basically what you do all day, is it not?
Obviously, we all talk about the fact that in the future we know that we're going to have fewer high school graduates. And so much of our funding model is built on continuing to maintain and grow our enrollment. And
just demographics in general?
If you think about it, what happened was in 2008, with the recession that we had, people started having fewer children. Yeah. And fewer babies means fewer. No doubt. We talked about that on the show. Elon Musk says we're literally going to run out of workers if we don't change this trend. So a lot of what we're doing, and I think is a testament to some of the things that I mentioned a moment ago, we're really rethinking what is our potential clientele from a student standpoint, not to just be 18-year-olds. And so that's community college graduates, that's people that are out in the workforce that need additional training, whether that's certificate programs or whether that's graduate programs or bachelor's degrees, really thinking about it holistically. And so I'm actually very bullish on our future because we are having those conversations right now, and a lot of great plans are being put in place in that regard. The placement data you shared is quite impressive, especially with so many staying in the state. Before we go, about 30 seconds, the Mississippi State degree, is that highly regarded? Of course, I know it is, but I want to hear your take on that by employers. It's one of those that our graduates here in the state actually have the highest initial salary of any institution in the state. And that's something that we're incredibly proud of.
Well, that's the litmus test right there, in my view.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
That's awesome. Dave, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on all the success here at Mississippi State University.
Indeed. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Folks, we're stepping aside for a break. We're in the Alabama.